All right, let's talk travel. Today, we're going to get into a piece of trip planning that's absolutely crucial, but it sometimes gets pushed to the back burner. We're talking about health prep, and specifically the vaccines that act like your own personal shield when you're out seeing the world.
So, let me start with a question for you. When you think about the absolute must-haves for travel, what pops into your head? Your passport, right? Or your plane ticket? Of course, those are essential. But what if I told you the single most important document might be something you haven't even thought of yet?
Because, seriously, beyond your passport, the one thing that truly ensures a safe and smooth journey might just be your vaccination record. It's the key to protecting your health, for sure, but sometimes it's literally your ticket to even get into a country.
So let's get into it. Think of this part as putting together your health passport. It's all about getting a handle on the basics of travel vaccination way before you even start thinking about what to pack. So what is a vaccination, really? Well, think of it like a training simulation for your body's defense system. You're giving your immune system a little preview of a potential threat, so if it ever bumps into the real deal, it knows exactly what to do. It's how we build that protective shield.
Now, before your mind jumps to exotic, faraway diseases, the very first step is actually much closer to home. It's all about checking up on the defenses you should already have and making sure your routine shots are up to date.
You're probably looking at this list, tetanus, measles, mumps, and thinking, yep, got those when I was a kid. And you're right. But here's the catch. Immunity can fade over time. Getting a booster for something like tetanus before you travel, well, that's just making sure your foundational shield is strong, no matter where you end up.
Okay, once your routine stuff is sorted, we move on to the next layer of protection. And this one is completely custom. It's all about matching your vaccinations to your specific trip. Not just where you're going, but what you'll be doing when you get there.
And this is absolutely key. A city break in Paris is going to have a totally different set of health considerations than, say, backpacking through rural Southeast Asia. The climate, the local animals, the activities you have planned, it all plays a huge part in figuring out what you need.
Let's look at a concrete example. Rabies. If your trip involves hiking, camping, or you'll just be in an area with a lot of stray animals, this is a big one to consider. It's spread through bites from infected animals, especially dogs, and it's a major issue in many parts of Africa and Asia. And since rabies is lethal, the takeaway here is simple. You have to be careful, and you need to get medical help immediately after any potential exposure.
Now, for a totally different kind of risk, let's talk about Japanese encephalitis. See, this one isn't about animal bites, it's spread by mosquitoes. And it's really specific to rural agricultural parts of Asia, especially near places like rice paddies. This just highlights how much your environment matters. If you're planning a longer stay or going way off the beaten path in these regions, this vaccine becomes super important.
And this slide really nails the regional differences. You've got two diseases, both carried by mosquitoes, but they hang out in completely different parts of the world. Japanese encephalitis is an Asian concern. Yellow fever, on the other hand, is found in Africa and South America. But check out that last point on yellow fever. It can be a mandatory requirement for entry. And that changes the game entirely.
This brings us to a really unique case. The yellow fever vaccine isn't just about your personal health. It's about international policy. For a number of countries, it's a flat-out legal requirement to get in.
Yeah, this isn't some friendly advice from a travel agent. This is international law. The World Health Organization's regulations literally provide the legal framework for countries to demand proof of vaccination. It's a huge part of how we prevent the spread of disease across the globe. And this is what that proof looks like. It's the International Certificate of Vaccination, but you'll probably hear it called the yellow card. It gets stamped, it gets signed, and for some border crossings, this little booklet is every bit as important as your passport. If you don't have it, you could actually be denied entry. Okay, so that was a lot of info. It can seem kind of complicated, right? But it really isn't. You can boil this whole process down to a simple, clear action plan. Let's just walk through the 4 steps to a healthy trip.
Look, it breaks down like this. 1. Research. Use reliable sources to figure out the specific risks where you're going. 2. Consult. Go see a doctor or a travel clinic and do it about 4 to 6 weeks before you leave. That gives you plenty of time. 3. Vaccinate. Get the shots you need so they have time to kick in and become effective. And 4. Document. Keep that certificate and any other health papers right there with your passport so you don't lose them. Simple as that.
So, as you're putting the finishing touches on your plans, booking that last hotel, here's the thought I want to leave you with. Your journey is all mapped out, but is your health?
Making sure the answer to that is a confident yes is the real first step to any incredible adventure.